I'm Sue Spargo and welcome to Bits and Pieces. Bits and Pieces is a mix-up of our love of piecing and my real love of wool, hopefully with a little bit of stitching. We are, as a family, just absolutely love wool quilts. My children gravitate towards the wool quilts in my home that they cuddle up in. And one of the great properties of wool is that it's breathable. And so it makes for warm, nice, cozy quilts. This year, we're going to do a program that's going to be a year long. It's going to be a weekly block for 52 weeks. And you will be able to make yourself either a small wall hanging or baby quilt or a nice lap quilt. So if you make one block a week, you will have a smaller version, and if you make 3 of the same, you will be able to make a lap quilt. So I'm making a lap quilt, and the way that I'm doing it is I'm using 4 to 5 different colors, well, for the first month every week, and I'm using the same colors but mixing up the position of the colors on the blocks. So the blocks will be simple and with a little bit of stitching. So very doable for all of us, and it'll be really fun to see it build. I have chosen the colors that I'm doing for the next 4 weeks, and obviously this program, it's free, so it's totally up to you which colors you would like to do. We have a lot of followers that want to do exactly what I'm doing, so we are offering monthly kits, which are on our website, of the wool and the threads that I use. But otherwise, if you're going to use your stash, please do so, and also know that you have lots of different colors that you can add if you need some more or a little bit of spunk in your quilt as you go along. So the first thing about it is that every Wednesday from obviously today and every Wednesday now for 52 weeks at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, we will be launching this video on YouTube. So you'll have to come to YouTube to listen to it, and then you'll need to go to the website, to the Bits and Pieces page, to print off the PDF for the week. And it'll be in the format like this. It'll say Bits and Pieces Week 1, and it'll tell you, but along with what I tell you in the video, you'll be able to make your block. We're going to make it fairly easy. So for instance, the first week I've used 4 colors: dark cerise, bordeaux, hollyberry, and rhubarb, and those are names of our wools. When you buy the pack of wools, we will pack them in the 4 weeks in one pack from the top color right down to the last color that are listed on your chart. So I suggest that if you're not familiar with the names and the colors, that when you get them, you either do a little, just a little sampler of colors with the names next to it on a piece of paper, or use stickies and put them on your pieces of wool. Because what I'm going to do is I'll make the 3 blocks for the first week, and then I'm going to have leftovers, and these are the leftovers you can see from these 3 blocks, and I'm going to be keeping them in a little box so that I can reuse them later on in the months, so that we do not waste any wool. So we'll get a nice little stash, and then we'll start making some blocks that are different colors. All these blocks are 5 inches finished. And like I said, they will be simple and easy to do. So I'll be teaching you about how to work with wool under the sewing machine, how to press it, and also how to mark the templates that I'm doing for the shapes of the stitches. So I hope you'll join me every single week as we progress through the months of making this fun and usable quilt. So to get started, you're going to cut out your shapes, and you'll see on here it's got the cutting instructions, and I cut a block, from each of the pieces of wool. So these are the 4 colors, And I've sewn these two together. In a minute, I'm going to show you how to sew these two together, but we're going to cut them all out first. So I'm sure you've all got great cutting systems. I like to use the Sew Tight system, especially for wool, so I'll just sort of show you that. It's a magnetic system, so the wool holds really nicely. And just say I wanted to cut, you know, a 3-inch block. I would, I'll start with the one on the one here. I'll lay it on here. If you need a little bit of extra pressure, you can put that down, and then you're going to just do it and cut round. And then we will, oops, then reset this over here, and then you can trim your block to 3 inches. So you'll cut out all your, oops, a little bit short there, that's okay. We'll do 3 and by 2.5. So do that, and then turn it and do that. So the extra pressure with the magnets really helps with the wool, especially once I've got a lot of stitching on them, you know, like that, then it helps stay stable. So we will cut out all the pieces, and then you'll start sewing them together. Okay, so we're ready to sew. I've put red thread in my machine, and I have a stitch length at about 2.5, and I'm going to do a scant 1/4 inch. So I'm going to come, put my foot down, and one of the things about wool that I like to do is I like to do a reverse at the beginning and end of each stitch, because it's not like cotton fabric that just the stitch stays in. It actually tends to open up if you don't do that. So I'm going to just do, just go back just a few stitches, and also I'm going to use a stiletto, and especially when I'm using, I'll show you when we're going over seams, but it just helps for it too. And then I'm going to do a back stitch right there. Okay, so here is my first seam. I will just cut these threads off, and I'm going to press this open. So all your seams will be pressed open. So I use a strip stick. This is a strip stick here, and you put it over the strip stick like this. I'm going to spray it just a little bit with flatter, and I like to use that. And then I am going to iron this open. So I'm going to hold it open and then iron across it. And I use quite a bit of steam with wool, and I'm not afraid to. I like very flat seams. The other thing you can do is once you take your iron off, you can put the clapper on and have that on there for a few seconds as well. So it's nice and flat. You can see how nice and flat that seam is. The reason I really love these little strip sticks, they're padded, so when you fold it over like this, you do not see the seam on either side of the wool like that. So now I'm going to take these two blocks and sew them together to make a 2-patch block. So here I'm going to come here, and I'm going to, like I said, do a scant 1/4. I'm going to back stitch, and then I'm going to make sure that these line up at the bottom. So this is where a stiletto is really nice, when you hold it so that you're... And the thing about wool, and our wool doesn't have much stretch in it, but it will flatten a little bit when you do it, but it generally will stretch a little bit, and then you can just trim up your block at the end. But here's another little trick. Whenever I have seams, I will cut away the little pieces from the seam allowance so that it takes out some of this bulk right here. So there, I've taken that out, and now I'm going to press this open again. So I'm going to put it on here, just spray it a little bit, and then I'm going to open up the seam and steam it here. So And then you can use your clapper as well on it to hold it for a few seconds. And there you can see how nice and flat the seam is there. So everything's flat on the front. And this block can be sized up a little bit if you need to once you've finished. If I, for instance, forgot to backstitch, or I happen to cut my backstitch, I'll do a little bar, I call it, across the seam allowance. So I just go back and forth like this, over the seams like this, and then they won't open up. So that's another little trick, just across there, and they won't open up like that. So for this, you're going to make your blocks, and I'm going to now show you how to mark them to do your stitching. So what I'm going to use for marking are our templates. So we have templates that start with sort of 1 inch all the way up to 3 inches, and they're in 1/4 inch increments, and they're really good. I use them, I love to use them actually, on marking the backgrounds of my fabrics for stitching. And I'm going to use the square ones here. So that, if you have them, that's a wonderful tool to try. You can see on this one, I used the 1 3/4 inch. Here I used a 3 inch and a 1 inch, 3 inch, and then the 1 inch in the corner. And over here, I used 2 1/4. So you can follow what I've done, or you can sort of make up your own. But I'm using one set of templates for each one for the first 4 weeks, and then we'll see where we go from there. So let's start. Let's do a 2 1/4. So I'm going to hold this where I want to mark it. And so you've got markings that you can keep them fairly straight as well on your piece if you put it against your seam allowance. But it's much more accurate to always mark on the outside of a template than it is from a cutout, like the inside. So I'm going to hold that down really tight, and I'm just using my white chalk, and I'm going to just mark nicely along the edge of this, and that will give me enough of a mark to stay on while I'm stitching my running stitch. So there we go, there's the first one, and maybe I'll just do a smaller one down here on this one. So I'm going to hold that there, and I'm going to mark around it. So you could play with all the different sizes and make your own patterns as well if you want. So there's the other one. So I've got 2 of them. So I've decided that initially I'm going to use size 3 eleganza, and I love the way that it shows up on these blocks, and I'm also using a little bit of a contrasting thread color. So again, you're going to use, if you're going to use the number 3, I'm using an 18 chenille needle. And I'll just show you how I like to thread. I like to thread needle to thread. So I've got my thread between my fingers, and you can just see it. I'm lining up my eye, and at the same time, I'm pressing my fingers together so I can't see the thread, and then I'm pushing it on. So that's the easiest way to thread a needle. And I'm also doing a quilter's knot, which you make a circle and you're going to wrap maybe 2 or 3 times and hold the wraps and pull this all the way down to the bottom, and there's my knot. So I'm going to start with a knot. So I'm going to come up in the corner, and I'm doing a running stitch to start with. And I may change things up as I go. We'll see how I feel. But I actually stab this up and down. You can either do that or you can load your needle and pull it through like you would for sashiko. But I can get a really pretty even stitch, as you can see, that looks a little bit like a sashiko stitch if I stab. So this is what I do. I just stab. And I find I get a much more even looking stitch if I do that rather than if I load my needle. So that's as simple as it gets. Little running stitch. Needle in hand is so therapeutic and actually really, really easy to do, and always makes me feel so good. So I love to do the stitching, as you can see. So there we go. That's how I did them all. When I come to the end, I weaved my thread through like this. You can see I just weaved through the stitches and then cut it off. So it's nice and flat on the back and gives your block a little bit of interest. So I hope you enjoy making your blocks for week 1, and I will see you back next Wednesday.